Hello friends, welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today I have a nice gentle sequence to open up through the hips and the lower back. This is a very minimal intensity yoga practice. We stay low to the ground. We probably don't need any props, but if you would like to grab something now, you may. Whenever you're ready to release and feel good, we can get started. We start today sitting up on the knees, reaching up through the crown of the head, first finding length in the spine. Hands can rest wherever feels comfortable. Just taking a few moments to really visualize this length happening in the spine. Maybe closing the eyes, just noticing how we feel. Then we're going to gently blink them open. If we had them closed, find our way onto the left sit bone, tucking the feet underneath us on the right. Reaching the right hand down, left arm comes overhead for a nice side body stretch. We can feel this stretch wringing out the lower spine, keeping the chest lifted, reaching over. And exhale, circling that arm around, coming up onto the knees to gently switch our sides here. Reaching that right arm over. Just breathing. Just feeling good. Exhale to release, taking the soles of the feet in front, sending them a little bit wider than hip width. Just doing little windshield wipers here, just waking up the hips. Using our hands, our fingers to stabilize us. Taking these as deep, as far as we want to. And then when we feel nice and open, nice and evened out, we're going to take the soles of the feet together, finding ourselves in bound angle pose. Pressing the feet together, wrapping peace fingers around big toe to help you lift the chest, pulling your feet into the hips. Nice, long, beautiful spine. Decompressing pain issues in the lower back. Maybe finding a gentle side to side here. Working through these areas. Finding whatever movements feel good to you. And then slowly pulling the chest forward, using the feet to help you forward fold. Deepening through the groin, sending the knees down into the mat. Deep breaths. And exhale to release, crossing the feet at the ankles, Sukhasana, easy seat. Hands come to the knees. Inhale, lift the chest, flowing through a few rounds of seated cat-cow. Exhale, round through the back, tuck the chin. Wake up the spine, moving with the breath. Sending oxygen to the brain. Starting to feel this mind-body connection as we move in synchronicity with our breath. A few more rounds. Maybe we start to make them a little bit bigger, using the hands, the arms as well. Beautiful. Finding ourselves back in neutral spine, rooting down through the sit bones, lifting up through the crown of the head. Taking a big inhale. And exhale, twisting to the right. Left hand finds the opposite knee. Sitting up nice and tall, just feeling this gentle wringing out of the abdominals. Maybe we're hearing some digestion going on in there. Exhale back through center. Take one deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale, twist to the left. Letting our breath flow naturally. Not forcing anything, just noticing it. Being with it, working with the body, not against it. Coming back through center to then make our way into tabletop. Spreading wide through the fingers, gazing down between the hands. Finding little hip circles here. So first sending the hips back, then over to one side, pressing through the hands as we take the hips forward and over to the other side. You can either make large circles like those, maybe we kind of just sway the hips back here by the feet. Whatever feels good, playing around with this movement here, getting to know your own body and what it needs. And finding our tabletop position, rooting down through the left top of the foot, raising the right behind us, and then taking knee circles, drawing huge circles with the knee, opening up through the right hip, gripping the mat with the fingers, making sure to reverse our circles, getting ourselves nice and even before releasing back to the mat and taking the left up, starting our circles with that leg. Just sending our awareness to the glutes, the groins, the knee especially, as we try to make these circles even. Making sure we reverse, reverse, reverse. One more big, beautiful circle. And then release, crossing the feet at the ankles to send the legs out, nice and long. Staff pose, flex the toes up, sitting up nice and tall. If we need to bend the knees a little bit to help us tilt the pelvis forward, if we're a little stiff in the hips, the lower back, the hamstrings, no judgment there. Just finding this nice long spine, feeling yourself open a little bit more with each breath. Exhale, slowly walk the fingertips towards the feet. Stretching out the back. Breathing nice and deep. Gently lifting the chest, taking the right foot into the left thigh, squaring the hips before we fold over that left leg. Trying to reach for the foot, but if we can't reach it, that's okay. Just enjoying this release, wherever that is in your body, whatever it looks like. One more breath. Then slowly lift up to gently switch sides with our noisy little friend here. He's telling you to make sure to keep your hips square. Oh, he's cute. Using your breath to help you into these stretches. Utilize that tool. Gently lifting back up, walking the fingertips back, planting the soles of the feet on the mat, hands come behind. We're going to take the right ankle, cross it over the left knee, and just press through the hands, lifting the chest, taking the legs into the chest, into the center. So we can feel this stretch in the right glute, maybe the groins, playing around with how close we are to our leg, how far away, whatever angles. Finding that spot for you. Sending that knee down, opening through the hips. Gently uncrossing to come to the other side. Noticing any difference in this leg versus the other. Maybe we're more open on one side. Just breathing. And gently uncrossing the legs, scooting to the middle of the mat to find our way down onto our backs. Extending the left leg long, right knee hugs into the chest. Finding that right hip crease. Pulling the knee in as close as we can get. Active in the left leg, finding space in the hips. And then flexing that right foot, grabbing onto the big toe if we can, reaching that leg out to the side, half happy baby. We can stay here. We have an option to extend, whatever feels good to you. Always options. Beautiful. One more deep breath. And then if we have the leg extended, we can now bend it. We're going to gently guide it over the other leg, finding a little twist, gazing over the right shoulder, saying hello again to the lower back, breathing nice and even. Release back onto the lower back, extending the right leg, taking the left knee into the chest, finding that left hip crease, pulling the knee in, sending the right leg long, energy out through the feet. And then coming into our half happy baby or reclined big toe pose. Again, maybe noticing a difference. We may hold tension in one hip versus the other. We may sit a little uneven. Say we usually cross one leg and not the other side, or maybe we sit kind of elevating one hip over the other. You can have many different reasons for these different sides. And that's why we work through and we try to find our balance here in mind and body. Gently crossing it over the right leg, coming into our twist. releasing back onto the back, sending both feet up in the air for full happy baby. Woo! Grabbing onto the big toes or the ankle and just opening the hips. Pressing the lower back into the mat, feeling the support there. Maybe taking a moment to notice if we feel any different after this practice than before we started. Knowing that everything isn't fixed in one day, especially if we have pain in certain areas, but just a few minutes of conscious, aware, intentional movement can really help relieve some of these aches and pains and tightness. We can relieve tension in the mind, which is connected to the body. We hold our mental tension physically in the body. So we try and release through both. And with that, we can release the feet, hugging the knees into the chest. Maybe taking a little rock here, side to side, giving the lower back a massage. Closing the eyes, focusing on the breath, and going within. Just noticing how this feels in the body. Taking a few more moments here, maybe we find some stillness. Before we gently release the legs, we can rock up or gently find a sitting position. Thank you for joining me today. It is always an honor to be alongside you on the mat and in this yoga/life journey. I hope you enjoyed this class, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste, my friend.